3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Queen Stage. We're here to spotlight the athletes, stories, and action in women's cycling, giving the sport the attention it deserves. And we're going to do so with the quality, depth, and personality the sport demands.
I'm Rosael Davis.
I'm Betsy Welch. I'm Rook.
And I'm Molly Herford.
Hello and welcome to the Queen Stage. I'm your host, Rook, and today I am joined by Betsy Welch and Rosael Davis as we break down Stage 5, a bumpy jaunt from Mâcon to Belleville-en-Beaujolais.
Today's stage packed in a lot of elevation, a lot of excitement. In addition to being a big test of the legs, it was a very tactical race as the GC teams tried to keep every break under control.
Yes, that is right. But before we dive into our daily recap, we have to shout out our great sponsors that we're so proud to be working with. They are Bike Tires Direct and Sharam. Their investment, their dollars is what is making this show possible right now.
Yeah, and if you're enjoying our coverage, make sure you're subscribed, leave us a review, and send us your questions to info@queenstage.cc or find us at queenstage.cc on Instagram and Threads. We also have a very fun and active Queen Stage WhatsApp community. You can find the link in our Instagram page or the podcast show notes.
Plus, we are running a daily giveaway throughout the entire tour. We're giving away one Queen Stage musette packed with really cool little goodies. We're giving one away after every stage, and it's really easy to enter to win. You simply... Oops, I'm jumping ahead to you, Rosael. Sorry. Let me start.
That's all right.
Over.
No, it's such a coveted musette, and I would understand why you want to jump ahead.
I just want to tell you how to get it.
Yeah, because it's super easy. Just head over to our Instagram of queenstage.cc, and you're going to find the highlight for today's stage. That would be Stage 5. And you're going to comment Bike Tires Direct, and you're going to tag 2 friends. That is it. And thank you to everybody who has been entering. It's wild how every single day we get like hundreds of likes and so many comments of people participating. So that's awesome. But Betsy, do you want to say who won the giveaway? Yesterday's giveaway?
Yeah. Yesterday, the lucky winner of the musette is Instagram handle at Turrentine Jennifer.
Yeah, congrats.
So, yeah, if you're listening, or not, we'll reach out via social media to get your shipping details.
Yes.
Thanks for playing.
Yeah, and even if you're not winning, anyone listening to this pod can get 10% off at Bike Tires Direct using the code QueenStage. It's all lowercase, all one word, and that directly supports our show. Alrighty, shall we dive into the racing? Betsy, do you want to give us a little catch up on what happened on yesterday's time trial?
Yeah, I will. And I'm not going to spend too much time there because A, it already feels like a lifetime ago. And B, it was such a little stage compared to today's stage, although it was very consequential. So Stage 4 was the individual time trial. It was short, sweet, 21 kilometers. It was far from boring, as you know, some people who aren't fans of time trials can claim they are. The stage majorly shook everything up. And it majorly influenced, I think, what teams had planned for today. We saw a great ride by Visma rider Lika Nguyen, and she sat in the hot seat for much of the stage, but ultimately the time trial extraordinaire Marlen Reusser knocked her out, winning the stage, I think just by 4 seconds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
even slightly under, as I saw. They adjusted it afterwards. It was just under 4 seconds.
And Demi Vollering had a pretty blistering TT herself and finished third. We saw a not so incredible ride by Pauline Ferrand-Prévot, and she fell very far in the GC after her performance at the time trial. She ended the day in 14th overall with over 2 minutes to make up. We'll talk more about her today. After yesterday's stage, we imagine there was a lot of conversation in the team buses about how to approach today's very different, very possibility laden stage. There was a lot to talk about, I imagine, on those buses.
And also, we just didn't know how much that less than 30-minute effort would affect riders coming into today. it seemed that it did have a big effect on PFP.
And
Unfortunately, should
maybe not
I?
so much on
Yeah, give
other
us a
riders.
quick rundown of what happened today for those people that
Yeah.
didn't watch from.
So today's stage 5 started in Mâcon and ended in Belleville-en-Beaujolais. It was 140 kilometers long, and it was described as hilly, and hilly it was, but I guess we had to see the racing to tell how they would handle these type of climbs, because it ended up being more of a classics day with some comparisons drawn to Liège-Bastogne-Liège, because it had basically 8 categorized climbs and 2,900 meters of elevation packed, and the climbing just started immediately. We saw first of all, we got full coverage, yay. And yeah, the climbing started immediately. So all the GC teams were very cagey in the beginning, just making sure they were in good position and just moving fast into that first climb. And we did see Marlen Reusser, because people were asking yesterday on the chat if she was going to have a fully painted in yellow bike, and she was now the yellow jersey wearer. But no, like that yellow paint, that extra paint weighs a lot of grams. And facing such a hilly...
that's relative a lot. It's not that heavy, but as most people will remember,
Yeah.
very memorably when Annemiek van Vleuten did a musical chairs with her Canyon yellow bike back in 2022 because she said it was too heavy, and then she flatted, and it was a whole big deal. So Marlen Reusser decided to not even start on the yellow bike and simply start on a bike that even lacked a lot of paint in general. It was as bare as it could be.
Yeah, I just had
with
the
the mountains.
Canyon logo. Maybe she just wanted to give her peace of mind to save those few grams, and also less work for the Movistar staff. Early on, we saw a crash involving Demi Vollering and other riders, but it was like nothing too serious. Demi got back in, and I think she just improved her position after that, because for some reason early on she was sitting really far back in the peloton, which is, I guess, a GC rider is like, you don't do that. And we saw Chiara Consoni also have a pretty bad crash, but I heard reports that she was able to get back on and finish the stage. We'll bring you updates later if that's not the case. And early on, I was wondering why, because I really thought this was going to be a stage for the break, right? But we were, we had 70 kilometers to go, and we still didn't have a break going. And then I realized it's because like Puck Peters of Phoenix Premier Tech was fighting so hard for the KOM points. And she took most of them and locked up her lead in the polka dot jersey. Meanwhile, Lorena Wiebes, before getting dropped along with Marianne Vos and a bunch of other riders, was able to take the points for the intermediate sprints. But yeah, once the climbing got too serious, we lost her. And then we saw a 19-rider move went clear in the Valley Roads with about 75 kilometers to go. And it had a lot of DC adjacent names like Antonia Niedermeyer of Canyon Saram, Fenke de Vries, she's from Bisma Lisa bike, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Niam Fisher Black, Magdalene Balieres, and basically Movistar and FDJ were sharing their duties and keeping that leash tight on the brake.
Is that fair to say? Because man, every time I feel like the camera panned to the chase, it was FDJ doing the work. They practically had a team time trial for a minute there.
You're saying that FDJ did most of it and that Movistar did not help as much,
which was really surprising because usually the chasing duties are on the yellow jersey wearer, which would be Movistar. And instead, FDJ was really gunning for Demi. Clearly, they had it in their mind, as we saw later on, that she was going to attack at some point. But it was interesting to see just how much work that team did today.
Yeah. Yes. No. It is interesting because I think they would have let just a break go, but it seems they don't want to. I think Demi wants this yellow jersey so bad at the end on stage 9 that they don't want to leave it to just a few seconds. Maybe they want to secure it a little earlier, like maybe tomorrow.
I also just this was the first day when I was really getting those super team vibes from FDJ. I was like, okay, here they
definitely.
are.
Yeah, and as Movistar, you're like, please do the work.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Movistar doesn't have those numbers the way that FDJ has, and so yeah, they were pretty happy to let them do the work.
Yeah. So the gap up that the break was able to held was always between 130 and 140. And they held that advantage through the Col de Gervais and Col de Durbis. But the pace in the DC group started treading the peloton down to just a handful of riders. Then things got really spicy. The yellow jersey group was whittled down to about 10 riders with the breakaway lead shrinking fast. And then on the Mont Brouilly climb, which is a 3-kilometer climb with 7.7% of steepness, Vollering attacked and blew up the GC group apart, and only about 7 riders were able to follow. This was so exciting. Then we saw Ferrand-Prévot, PFP, cracking hard. She looked so cooked on the climb and started losing time quickly.
I mean,
Ending
that
the
attack,
stage.
I will say before Demi attacked, her teammate was already really doing a lot of work. And then she attacked with, I think we haven't even met Włodarczyk yet. And she did a lot of work today, a lot of attacking for UAE, which we'll probably talk about a little bit more because that team is a big old question mark. Like, what the hell is going on there? But with Włodarczyk attacking and then the group coming back together and Vollering going on the attack again, it was so attritional that we saw Anne van der Breggen pop first. And like that was kind of like, oh, that's a surprise. And then PFP and Kerbal. And it was just everyone flying off the back. And then I think what was cool to see in the front was that, you know, as Kasia and Reusser and Vollering all were riding together, it was them fighting for the bonus seconds in the QOM.
True, yes.
That was very smart, because then I'll get to this later again, because they're playing a seconds game. Like they're realizing that between the three of them, it's so close that every second counts, as we saw very famously a few years ago, where it came down to the bonus seconds, and Reusser went for that. And the second time around, we saw Demi going for it. So that was just an important interjection, I thought.
Yeah, no, thank you for bringing that up. The breakaway itself was such a good, rich breakaway. Yeah. And it turned out to be more of a breakaway of satellite riders that could maybe help once this GC group bridge to them. But yeah, like I said, we saw PFP crack hard, and she ended up finishing over 3 minutes down. Then it came down to Vollering, Marlen, Reusser in yellow, and Kasia, Niewiadoma riding together to the finish. And that was so, so exciting. But I don't know, guys. Niewiadoma I don't think she would make a good musician, because she doesn't have very good timing. I'm very sorry. I'm a big fan. I love her vibe, her attitude, how fierce she is, how gritty she is, and relentless, because she is truly relentless. But she needs to time things a little better. And it's just, we hate to see her like lose over and over again like this. But she did get 3rd place. So basically, Niewiadoma attacked first.
With what was it, like 700?
Like inside the final kilometer. But yeah, like maybe closer to 500 meters or so. And she has such a good jump. And I just wonder if she had, like, I want to analyze all of her finishes like this and be like, maybe does she need to just jump like maybe 200 meters later, because her jump is so good that I think she needs to like maximize that, because her finishing speed is not great. Right.
What the thing that got me? It was like she jumped so fast. Marlen and Demi are looking at each other like, "Are you gonna go? Are you gonna go?"
Yeah.
Those seconds of them looking at each other should have given her even more advantage, her being Kasia. And instead, as Demi comes just like sprinting up the finishing straight, Kasia's almost going backwards.
Yeah.
And it's wild because she has such a good jump, but then can't hold it.
What is her team telling her? Because she is admittedly impatient. She has said this for years.
That's the thing.
Like,
I wonder if it's a touchy topic and you can't like talk about it or something.
Like you can't tell her when to go or not. Like, did someone say, "Okay, go now," or was she just like?
But even in the finishing interview, Demi goes, "Well, Kasia goes early," because she always does. Like at this point, everybody knows. The riders are expecting it, and to be fair, like if she knows that she doesn't have the sprint like Reusser or Demi, then yeah, you have to go early, but not that early. And like if she has such a good jump, just wait. If she had done that at 200 meters, she would have had it.
Every time we all are like, yes, Kasia. Like in the WhatsApp chat, it was sort of like, go. Like, is this the one? Is she finally gonna?
Like, please God, don't go too early. And then boom, she goes.
Yeah. And for a few seconds, it looked like she could have won the stage. But Demi Vollering ended up coming around her on the right side. And Demi Vollering took the win on stage 5, with Marlen Reusser finishing in 2nd place and Kasia in 3rd place. And followed by, go ahead, Rook.
Well, I was just going to say the other thing is the stage win is so important, not because you get a stage win, which, by the way, Kasia still hasn't had at the tour. She doesn't have a stage win yet.
She's won the tour
without getting a stage win. And besides the stage win, what's so important is that there's bonus seconds to be had when you win a stage. And the way it's looking right now, like, every second counts. And so she knows better than most how important those are.
Oh, yeah, I wish I could hear what's happening in the Canyon SRAM team bus right now.
I mean, they're stoked. She had a great ride. Like, she's happy about where she is right now, knowing what's coming tomorrow. But we're like, come on, just get that stage.
Reusser, just shout out. She played that really well.
Oh, she was my star of the day. It's not exciting, but it's so smart.
Yeah, really smart. As Kasia and Demi were off the front, kind of throwing those little attacks, Reusser was just steady right behind them.
It's so good to ride within your own ability. Like, they're kind of wasting some energy attacking each other, and she's just like, nah, I'm here. I'm gonna just ride my pace. And at the end too, she wasn't even tempted to go for the sprint. She was just like, go ahead. I'm just gonna, and at the end, she slotted even past Kasia.
Yeah.
Because that's what she needed to do. All she needed to do was not lose time to Demi, and she would have remained in the yellow. And that's exactly what she did. She got herself some bonus points on the QOM, very, very, very smartly raced. And I don't know if you read some interviews yesterday about her Project Dijon, as they called it.
No. Oh, yes, I remember. Yes, go ahead.
So planning for this race, they specifically targeted the time trial because it was because it's going to be their goal was to get yellow in the time trial. And they called it Dijon because of the color of the mustard, but also because that's where the race took place. And she's like, this is where we get in yellow, and we try to hold it for as long as possible. And that's exactly what they did. And today her job was to retain the yellow going into the mountains, get a lead however many seconds you can on Vollering. And I think, to be honest, I thought she was stronger than I expected in the climbs today. She held on, she rode her own pace, and she was never not there. So
that answered, I think, some of the questions about is she a contender?
Right? Yeah, a lot of people are like, can she climb? Can she hang in with them? And she held in better than the majority of the riders today, that's for sure.
Yeah, obviously we're not inside her head, but I'm noticing a pattern of she just having to hold on sometimes so tight to attacks like that, and also not losing hope, because a few times she had gaps opening, but she just kept riding her very hard pace and kept getting back to it, and it really paid off that she didn't let it get into her head.
I can't wait to see what she can do tomorrow. I am so curious, because I would have put her on a long list of favorites, but we didn't name her in our hard brain or whatever, black or sheep, what is it called? Wild card. There we go. Picks. None of us named her, because she's always kind of there, but she hasn't fulfilled it yet. And I think, today it showed that the race is between those three women.
So cool.
Yeah, and honestly, what I was expecting something very different. I still was expecting a GC race within the race, but I was expecting a breakaway to take the stage. And let me just finish the result list, because on 4th place, we had UAE's Dominika Włodarczyk. We had Lidl-Trek's in 5th place, Isabella Holmgren. Shout out to Isabella Holmgren. In 6th place, we had Antonia Niedermeyer of Canyon SRAM. 7th place, Aninke Vinka of SD Works. 8th place, Femke de Vries of Visma Lisa Bike. In 9th, Niam Fisher Black of Human Power Health. And in 10th place, Talita de Jong of Lidl-Trek.
That's really funny to see Talita, and then former cross.
Right? I was going to say, that sounds like that sounds like a cross name. Yeah, so I expected the winner to come out of this group, maybe.
It's cool that they all, finish within the top 10 of the stage. And there's some really young girls in that group you just mentioned. It's cool to see, Isabella Holmgren.
front row seats to like how to race by watching these other women go at it.
Very, very curious to see what Isabella Holmgren can do tomorrow. I think she, as we saw at the Giro, no, the Vuelta, she was such a great climber. Was it? Which one was it?
The Giro.
Giro. She was such a great contender in the mountains. So I'm really curious to see.
Yeah, and that claim that got shortened, and then Demi ended up winning the stage.
Yeah. But I guess where's PFP? Where did she end up on the day?
On the GC, she is, I think, 17th place.
I think she in
17th place. She dropped 3 spots in the GC.
So is it fair to say that she is out of the running?
5 minutes. She has 5 minutes.
Can she make that up in Vaughan too? The way she's climbing?
I'm not
sure.
The way
everyone else is climbing?
What I'm more concerned is like, why did she have such an off day? Because if she's feeling fine tomorrow, then maybe her goals change to going for a stage win. And if she happens to make up enough time, then great. But I just hope that she's not completely out of the race, because if she's going through any like heat exhaustion or anything like that, we may not see her in a day or two.
I mean, we said that yesterday. Oh, what's wrong with PFP? We're saying that today.
Yeah. But yesterday, it was like her first time trial of the year, first and only. I don't know how many times she's been on a time trial bike. And so it's tough, but maybe there was something more.
We also feel like we just have so little information about her. And like, is she being guarded? I mean, I know you don't have to share your life on social media, and you don't have to, agree to so many interviews or talk to whoever. I'm just curious, like what's going on there with both her and the team. I know I keep saying she's a mystery, but it almost feels like it's a really like calculated mystery. I don't know. Wasn't there a lot more engagement with her last year?
Yeah.
In terms of interviews and appearance and stuff like that.
And if you're Wiesma Liseberg right now, like this is not good. You're one of the best funded teams out there, and you've got your best rider Femke de Vries in 8th in the GC, not someone you set out to ride the GC with. You haven't got any states wins yet. Like Marion Vos really hasn't been talked about a whole lot. Marion Brunel isn't climbing like we've gotten used to. Pauline is just, we're talking about her not in a good way. What's going on?
Yeah, is she refusing interviews? I mean,
she's not. Like, she's been talking to media afterwards, but I think did they never expect it to win this race? Like, what's going on? Like, we're all looking at her to win, and they're not doing well. And obviously the men's tour was disappointing for them as well. And I just expected more from them, to be honest. All right. Shall we quickly wrap up today's stage with our winning tire, which is once again a Specialized tire. They've won how many now, Betsy? You were keeping track for a while there.
This is their third.
This is their third win on the Specialized Cotton Tubeless Ready tire. I'm guessing it was going to be either a 28 or a 30. Hard to say. The pavement looked really rough today, so she probably would have been more comfortable on a 30. If you're looking for new tires, head over to Bike Tires Direct. Use our discount code QueenStage for a 10% discount. Yeah. Moving on, shall we?
Yeah.
Yes. I was just trying to find out more information about PFP. But there's nothing else out there. But something, not to sound like a broken record, but we keep hearing from people on the ground that the heat is being a major factor. Maybe it's not in the hundreds yet or whatever, but it's like day after day of temperatures in the 90s, Fahrenheit. It gets to the riders.
Yeah. Now, my rider deep dive for today is Włodarczyk. Mostly because she was on the attack today. Also because that name comes up a lot as UAE's chosen climber. But before I tell you who she is, can we talk a little bit about what is going on with UAE Limad? Like, social media is having a field day with Free Paula Blasi. There was even a very fun techno song made about her. I shared it on my Instagram. We shared it on the Queen Stage Instagram as well. The creator actually reached out and said that Paula herself had responded to him, saying that she got a really good laugh out of that one. Elisa Longoborghini did an interview and said that all this media attention on Paula and the team's disorganization is very hurtful. It's hurting the riders. Of course, the journalists didn't make this up. You know, this narrative came out of somewhere, and that was out of the disorganization within that team. And that the backstory for our listeners that don't know is that Paula Blasi, massive talent, probably the breakout star of the year, is rumored to be leaving with the biggest contract yet in women's cycling. Talk is around €1 million. And there was a lot of speculation about the team not wanting to work for a rider that is leaving. So they chose Elisa Longoborghini as the team lead and Włodarczyk for the help in the mountains. And a lot of people disagree with that. They thought that Paula Blasi, who won the Vuelta, should have her chance. And, you know, if not at the overall, then at the young rider jersey. And there's been reports that she's, you know, not very happy about being put into domestic duties when she has a chance to ride for herself. A lot of people are speculating that she's being kind of held back by her team. Is there anything else y'all want to add to this situation?
Well, first of all, it's not uncommon, the situation where you have two riders who could be DC leaders in a team. Second of all, I haven't seen anything disrespectful out there unless I'm missing something. So it feels that the UAE is creating its own drama, which is also not helpful for the relationship between Elisa and the rest of the team, and Paula and the rest of the team. Because the reality is, okay, let's say they agreed that Elisa is the leader, but the road is actually going to answer that question, because if the reality doesn't align with your goal, and let's say Elisa simply starts losing time, if Paula is feeling good, then like as a team, you have a responsibility to like switch strategies and go for the rider who will give you the better chance at a win.
Agreed. And they were very active today. Like we saw Squeeben, Włodarczyk. Squeeben actually went back to be a domestique for her GC leaders. Elisa Longoborghini fell off the back when climbing. They were definitely trying to make something happen today. Didn't succeed. There's just a lot of question marks around this team. But Włodarczyk is emerging as, you know, a great stage race potential. So I thought we would talk a little bit about who she is. She's a Polish rider, 25 years of age. She races, as we talked about, but for UAE Limad. She's also a cyclocross racer, which we love here at the Queen Stage. She's actually a multi-time national Polish cyclocross champion. In 2023, she won 4 UCI stages, which earned her World Tour contract for 2024 with UAE. She really announced herself as a Grand Tour contender last year when she finished 4th overall at this race, the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift. She's currently the national TT and road racing champion. Mind you, her main competitor in Poland is Kasia Niewiadoma Finney. So that tells you just how strong this young rider is. And when she's not training or racing, she's actually studying civil engineering. Smart cookie over there.
Cool.
Her passions besides cycling, according to the team websites, are reading books, baking and cooking, learning new things, and personal development. Sounds like a very well-rounded young woman.
Should she have gotten most combative rider today?
Someone other than Demi should have, in my opinion.
So Demi got
there were a
most
few
combative
candidates.
There
Yeah,
were a
she
few
did.
candidates. Like Demi
But
was
there were a
active
few that could've.
in the end, for sure.
Yeah.
But you got to
Right.
look at the whole stage, not the final
Yeah.
20K.
Yeah. Włodarczyk, Antonia Niedermeyer had an incredible day. Like really, really animating things.
No,
Lidl-Trek
even
has
Maeva
been-
Squeeben too.
Yeah. Lidl-Trek has been very active this tour without success.
Totally.
But they're being seen a lot.
Who makes that call? The combative.
It's
Is that
a
like
jury
a judgment
selection.
call?
Yeah.
But it's a subjective.
It is a subjective.
Yeah.
Someone is like, hey, what do you think about this? And what about this?
Mhm.
And then they decide on who it is. But I do disagree with today's nomination.
Any other honorable mentions for today? Because that breakaway was so good. We also saw Francie Koch in there.
Yeah.
A
A lot of great riders in there.
Yeah, Liana Lippert.
Spratty, Amanda Spratt. She's really getting some TV time on her final tour. It's good to see for Lidl-Trek.
Yeah, that ended
And
up being
I-
a really fun stage to watch. with all the
I
descending.
wonder if tomorrow. Wait, oh God, is tomorrow fun too?
Tomorrow.
Is-
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
Is it?
No, it's not.
Stage
No,
7?
there's another hilly. Yeah,
There's another
so
hilly one. We have stage 7
tomorrow's
in
another
between.
hilly profile similar. So I wonder if we'll see any of those animators from today back in the action.
I know I keep jumping to
Yeah.
Ventoux, but it's not. It's not Ventoux yet. We still have a day for things to shake out, for Pauline to find her matches if they are to be found. I had someone in the chat had asked if, like on the men's side, is there a potential that she may just drop out, which would just be such a bummer.
I think it would suck, but I guess that's the thing. We don't know if she just is having trouble like keeping food down, if she is just like bonking completely, if something is hurting. Like it depends, right? Because if she can continue and she can race, and because she's actually healthy and it's just that she's not in top form, then fine. But it could be something else too.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed. Should we talk a little bit about the questions we got on WhatsApp?
Sure.
Yes.
We got
Let's see.
a lot of good questions.
So Rook, yes, one of the questions people had in the WhatsApp chat was about the race radio. So there's a lot of radios in the peloton. Riders have radios. There's radios in the team cars. So can you explain what are the different waves of radio that we have in the tour?
Yeah, so every rider, has a little earpiece and they carry a transmitter, and the DS is talking to them on their own channel. So teams have different channels so they can communicate with the riders. And then there's one channel that every car in the peloton gets, which is called race radio. It's where the head commissaire announces developments in the race. They'll shout things like shoot if there's a crash, or details about feed zones, details about closed sections on the course, or if riders get dropped, they'll say the number. So it's basically getting all the information that directors sportifs need about what's happening in the race. They'll even say things like, hey, next section has some road furniture, heads up, tell your riders. So it's a way for the race officials to communicate with the cars, and the cars can then relay it to their riders. So whenever you hear race radio mentioned in by the commentators, that's what they're referring to.
So the other question also relates to logistic and everything that goes into supporting the peloton and the riders. So somebody in the WhatsApp chat asked, what the soigneurs, the team staff, what is the gender split there? Do teams and athletes, do they have a preference? How do they get around? And also there's questions about team cars and how many team cars are there in the peloton.
All right, I'm going to take one at a time.
Yeah.
Every team gets 2 official team cars, and then there's a third car which has the Swanee and who's doing the bottle feeds. And Swanees are, physical therapists. It's people filling the bottles, handing the bottles, like that. It's a all-encompassing term. Some people do prefer, like especially when it comes to the masseuse, and they prefer one gender over the other. But anecdotally, like I can tell you, there's both. Same with the Swanees preparing the bottles and that. I got to spend a day with a Soigneur at the first Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift, which was super fun. It was really interesting to see, how they get to the spots. They tend to get there quite a lot ahead of time. They park their car, they hang out, they're watching. If there's cell phone reception, they're watching the race, or they're listening to race radio, waiting for the riders to come in. They hand off the bottles, hopefully more successful than we saw on the first stage, and then pack everything up and move on to the next feed. But yeah, any gender goes, and it's usually just whoever. A lot of people. It was interesting. A lot of Swanees have been there for a long time, and they have really good relationships. They probably have the best relationships with the riders of anyone there, because they see them at their best, at their worst. They're not just giving them bottles; they're also, spending time with them at the finish line. They're the first person to see a rider when they come in is the Swanee. That's the person who has the little vest on, gives them a bottle, gives them a towel, welcomes them in. So yeah, they get the most joyous version of the rider, but also the worst version of the rider.
Yeah. Yeah. They
Really
also,
a bit of an unofficial therapist at times, I'm sure.
yeah,
100%.
the
Yeah.
emotional support that they give, it's priceless too. And also, a lot of them come from cycling. Maybe they were former pros. Maybe they made it to Conti teams and then retired. For example,
G.
Jerica Schures.
Gerike Schreurs, for those Dutch people.
Jerica Schures.
Who is
Yeah.
currently racing gravel for Specialized Off-Road. But yeah, she was a longtime Swanee for SD Works, right?
Yep.
So yeah. And then
Yeah.
speaking of feeds, there was a question, a little bit of debate on our WhatsApp about, or confusion rather, why Marlen Reusser in those the final descent and the final 10Ks didn't have a bottle. And she kept asking, you could see her signaling to the car saying, hey, I need a bottle, I need a bottle. The other two riders had a bottle on the frame. She did not. We saw everyone lose their bottles at the beginning of the climb, trying to lose any extra weight. And oops, the feeding in this particular stage closed with 11Ks to go. So she wasn't allowed to get a bottle, no matter how much she wanted one and asked for one. And it caused some, debate among the commentators. Some people say that rule is fair. Other people say, no, when it's this hot, a rider should get a bottle for health reasons. And the reason that rule is in place, so the rule is there's closed sections on the course when it's too dangerous to get a hand up. So that descent was rather, it was technical, and you can't have someone handing a bottle in the middle of a technical descent like that. And same, they usually say 20K from the finish, because that's where, there's usually a lot of riders, a lot of moving about. It's just not safe to hand a bottle to a rider at that time. And in this situation, had it been open, it would have required the car to come around the riders and physically hand Marlen a bottle, because she didn't have any teammates. So the road was too narrow to get a car there, and it just wasn't possible for her to get a bottle, which obviously she was very displeased with, because she was thirsty and needed some fuel for the finale.
Yeah. Do you think that Vollering and Niewiadoma Fini were aware that she didn't have a bottle?
Yeah, I mean, she was so visibly asking for one.
I think so. I just want to check, because I would have hoped that one of them would have offered her a bottle, because
absolutely not. They only have one left.
I get it, but they also only had a few kilometers left, or maybe they didn't have they only had a few sips left. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt, right? But if one of them had enough water to share, I would have done it personally, because you never know if in the next stage you drop your bottle. Let's say you're Demi Vollering, you drop your bottle in the feed, and nobody offers you water because you didn't offer the other person water stage before.
This is coming ahead of time. Like these closed sections are announced in the road book. It's coming. She shouldn't have gotten rid of both her bottles. Who knows? Maybe they were both empty, so she wanted to get rid of them.
What's in the bottle?
I was just going to say, the other thing is sometimes it's water, sometimes it's nutrition. Yeah. And you're not going to, for sprint finale, you need you just need that little boost of sugar, of carbs. And so, no, you're not going to give it to your competitor. True. Absolutely not. There was 10Ks to go. It sucks for Marlen. And on hot days, there should be exceptions. When it's, 40 degrees Celsius, even 30 something as it was today, there should be exceptions, as long as it can be done safely. But I don't blame her competitors for not sharing their food. If anything, there should have been an exception made on a hot day for any part along that final stretch for a Swanier to be able to hand her a bottle. But in those situations, it's just really nice to have a teammate who can give you their bottle, but it doesn't always happen. So that's why she was riding without a bottle, and that's what the arm wailing was about. Please give me a bottle. I need a bottle.
Well, it worked
out
just
in the
fine
end
for her.
Yeah. Any other questions? Why is there less extra stuff on Peacock? So this is about the TV coverage that we're getting. We're getting a race, we're getting commentary, but we're not getting the little extras that you see on the men's tour. You see, a commentator that's on a moto in the race. You see little extra graphics or little sound bites that's coming through from
data.
Yeah. Why are we not getting that?
Yeah, I mean, our educated guess, we were discussing this before recording, or educated guess, just from having worked in media, is that that the Tour de France Femmes just doesn't get the same financial support as the men's Tour de France. So let's say if Peacock NBC had a team of 10 people working on the production for this event, that team is probably half the size for the women's Tour de France. I mean, and we see it like they don't have the pre-show that they do for the men's. A lot of us who are more fans of the European coverage see it as a positive because then we can jump right into the commentators that we like and we are used to. But basically just the investment from the media is just not completely there yet. But also social media is doing a great job. We have so many content creators out there who are just keeping up to date and super entertained.
Yeah, social media is where it's at right now. And like how quickly they're producing it. Every team themselves is producing little highlights from the day. There's so much information to be had from social media. So if you're looking for the extra stories, the extra tidbits, where we get a lot of our information, to be honest, go to
Yes.
social media. All right. And with that, should we talk about what's on the docket for tomorrow?
Yeah, what do we have tomorrow before Mont Ventoux on Friday?
Yeah, we don't want to jump ahead because as we saw today, a lot can happen on these little hilly stages. Stage 6 is similarly profiled to stage 5. It's lumpy, punchy, hilly, you could say Ardennes style stage. It's 153 kilometers. So it could be another sort of last hurrah for the breakaway artists. It starts in Montbrison and goes to Tournon-sur-Rhône. And I guess maybe one of the perhaps consequential climbs is the Col de la Lavousse, an 8.5 kilometer climb at about 5% grade. Then there's a descent and then like a little punchy climb to the finish. So, I mean, gosh, predictions at this point, I don't want to make any. I never want to make them, but I really feel like it's getting harder to make them now. But I do think we could see some of those same breakaway artists up there today, like some of those girls we were so excited and happy to talk about, like Niedermeyer and Femke de Vries, and who else was up there today? Isabella Holmgren. What do you guys think?
I mean,
Yeah.
the middle of that course is so undulating. Like they're basically just climbing for
Yeah.
the entire middle section of the stage tomorrow. Do you know when we get coverage? Because that's something I definitely want to be watching.
I'm pretty sure we're only going to get the last couple of hours starting around 9:30 to 9:45 Eastern. But at least the climbs on this course, we have a lot of more sustained climbing. So maybe not as like classics oriented or roller oriented as today. So maybe it's a breakaway that has more of pure climbers in there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, looking at this stage, you're going to be climbing like that middle section. You're going to be climbing from 40K all the way to 90K. Like,
I love
Yeah.
that.
But it may come out to a good descender because again, we have a finish that is 2 descents and then a flat finish. So it could be really exciting.
Yeah. So
Do we
who-
know it's still hot, right? Like, I guess that it was still hot today. I mean, I haven't really heard of any like sort of break in the weather.
Yeah,
So
tomorrow we're going to start like elevation wise higher than it finishes. So it may get warmer actually towards the end of the
towards
stage.
the end, yeah.
But yeah, tomorrow it just looks tough. Like I'm looking at this going, we could see a lot of action or we can see no action as people are trying to conserve for Ventoux the next day. But you know, Vollering is looking very strong. She looks
Very
hungry.
strong.
I would not be surprised if she's going for another stage win tomorrow. Also to just try to get a gap a little bit on Reusser, since she's still in the lead.
Yeah.
What do you
I
think,
don't know.
Rosael?
After today, today really just like shook me because I thought today would be like the easier day and it wasn't. So maybe it is tomorrow, unless what if they just serve us like hot racing until Sunday? Like, is that sustainable? We'll see. But it would be nice for a breakaway to get its flowers because that's how we get to know a lot of riders and, you know, the experience. I was joking about this earlier, how I fan fiction story about how Ninka Vinka got in her first breakaway as a junior or something like that, right? But, it is so special to be in a breakaway at the Tour de France Femmes, and have all that TV time and people like commentators who maybe had never said your name before say it and your family to be watching. So I guess I would like to see a breakaway rider.
I agree.
This would have been a good one for Mavis Kwiven last year.
Exactly. Yeah, but now like she's too marked and she has more serious work to do now for Longoborghini and Blasi, right?
I mean, she was looking strong today. She definitely had the legs. She just had to wait for her GC riders.
Yeah, definitely. So maybe we just see a bunch of riders who are super low in the GC go for it tomorrow and not make the GC riders, not give them any impetus to chase at all.
I don't know. I don't see it happen. I think the GC is too strong, and they're gonna we're gonna see more controlling again as we did today. But
I mean, that will be exciting too. So
it's
yeah,
like
either scenario.
It's like a head and heart day, It's like Demi is on a mission and very seemingly executing on that mission. But then it's like, oh, I'd love to see like a Neve Fisher-Black just go,
exactly.
someone like that.
For sure. But seeing how Reusser was gunning for those extra seconds and seeing them fight for already playing that bonus seconds game,
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah.
Either way, tune in because it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and we got some good news, right, about Mont Ventoux.
Yeah, the as been shared on the ground is that Mont Ventoux will continue as originally planned. Thus far, it looks promising in terms of wildfires, and we should be rewarded with the Ventoux stage as originally planned.
Yeah,
great
fingers crossed. Yes.
Well, I think that wraps up our coverage of Stage 5 here on the Queen Stage. Another massive thank you to our presenting sponsors, Bike Tires Direct and SRAM. Their commitment to advancing women's cycling is what allows us to deliver these great daily podcast episodes.
Yeah, and don't forget to enter today's giveaway for the Musette and all its goodies on our Instagram before tomorrow's stage starts. Just comment Bike Tires Direct and tag 2 of your favorite friends on the stage highlights.
Yes, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our recaps. In the meantime, keep those questions coming in the WhatsApp. And thanks for listening. We'll catch you tomorrow for Stage 6.
Bye-bye.
Bye.